Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video I thought I'd discuss the possibilities of anywhere from 70 to 85% sell-off in not only Bitcoin but the overall market. Now there's a lot of people that are throwing this kind of possibility about that, the market could have a serious sell-off. I'm really going to tell you where they get that from and why I don't think that this is actually likely to happen. It is possible, however, I happen to think that it is pretty unlikely. I think that 2021 plays out in a similar way to 2017 rather than our last parabolic bull run that we saw back in 2013, which is really where everyone's getting this idea that we could have kind of a double top and we could have a severe sell-off before then impulsing for the rest of the year. So for those of you who don't know what the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory is and you're hearing it for the first time, I want you to get subscribed to this channel right now, because if you are serious about getting into the crypto space, you need to understand the history of Bitcoin, and that comes in the form really of the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. Bitcoin essentially follows a 4-year cycle that revolves around the halving. Once you see the halving, which essentially cuts the rewards of Bitcoin's the rewards that you get for Bitcoin mining in half, which creates a supply shock. This then, we see the price alter as a result of this. And, it essentially dictates that Bitcoin follows a 4-year cycle. And essentially the first year is after your 2017. So if we take this cycle, for example, 2017 was the end of the last one. The new one started in 2018, where you see a sort of a very sharp decline into the bear market. You bottom out in the second year, 2019, then you break descending resistances and start really the bull market, 2020, round about when the halving is, and then your 2021 is your 2017-esque bull run. And we have had two of these to date. Guys, nobody could tell you exactly where the price of Bitcoin is with 100% certainty. What we can do is we can use indicators, we can use previous data, we can use a number of factors to determine where we think the price is indeed going. And that's really all people are doing. The reason that I predicted $100,000 Bitcoin ages ago was simply because if you look at 2013, when we had our last 2017, most people don't even know about any of this, guys. And this is, like I say, if you're hearing this for the first time, please get subscribed to the channel, because this channel is here to help you. This channel is here to tell you the things that I wish I had known back in 2017 when I first sort of played around with the crypto space. It would save me a lot of money, and because of this sort of data that I know, it's actually allowed me to make significant sums of money. So in 2013, you saw 100x. In 2017, you saw a 20x for Bitcoin, and I think the law of diminishing averages will give you $100,000 Bitcoin. I think that there are a number of variables that have changed that. I actually think we will go through $100,000 this year. However, it's really because of the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory that I was able to give that analogy, and we are following it very, very perfectly, in my opinion. And where people are getting the idea of this sort of, major sell-off coming for Bitcoin is if you look at 2013, essentially you had a major sell-off. Bitcoin essentially went, I'll see if I can get this out of auto to kind of show you what happened, and round about the time periods it did happen. Bitcoin obviously started its bull run in 2013, went up to around about $299 and crashed all the way down to $65. So nearly an 80 to 85%. Around about an 80% pullback. I'm not going to do the exact maths on the top of my head, guys, but I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comment section. And people essentially are reckoning that the same thing could be true today. I do not think that it is. I think back in 2013 that the market was significantly more volatile in a number of ways. I think you didn't have such strong hands like today we see institutions. And I really think that, you don't have to worry about necessarily an 85% or an 80% pullback or a 70% pullback or whatever, this major kind of dip coming for Bitcoin is going to be. I think you are going to have consistent pullbacks the same way you had pullbacks back in 2016, 17, sorry. It's been a long day. But I don't think you are necessarily going to have anything over a 50% pullback. I'd be shocked if we had something over a 50% pullback. But even if that did happen, guys, you could still, in my opinion, be extremely bullish. And like I say, if you guys are only just getting to know the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory now, please, get sub to this channel, because this is crucial information. It's not really until we break those all-time highs that we really see things kicking off. And we can go back to 2017 and really take a look at how 2017 played out. In my opinion, we're playing out in exactly the same sort of manner. You can see back in March 2017, after we sort of got into March, around about the 9th of March, we started to see pullbacks, or we had a pullback, and things are really playing true today, guys. Things have played true, and sort of we followed the same sort of 2017 structure, in my opinion, very, very similarly today, or in 2021. And I don't think we're necessarily following that 2013 structure. However, if we did sell off sort of, 70 to 85%, it wouldn't really bother me. We'd have to sort of sell off back down to our kind of previous all-time highs. We'd actually have to sell through it to see a sort of 2013-esque sell-off. I don't think you're going to see that. Like I say, we have too many strong hands in this market for that to sort of take place. And there's no reason for me to think we're not still following the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. And you really need to look at, like I say, when you're trying to predict the price and you're trying to predict what Bitcoin's going to do, there's a number of things you can go off, and one of them is really sort of past price movement and how things have played out in the past, and you can kind of apply that to the future and see if things are sort of repeating. And that's all I really do as a kind of macro investor. I look for certain structures and I take trades accordingly. And like I say, back in 2000, and let me quieten this chart down and take some of the moving averages off for you, because for a lot of you, this will look confusing. Back in 2017, we had frequent pullbacks. And like I say, things look very steep where we are at the moment. But, if you go back to sort of the start of 2017, things were exceptionally steep back then, guys. And you had frequent pullbacks, like I say, of anywhere from, 20 to 35%. And I think you're going to see the same thing play out today. We are seeing similarities, I think. However, we are seeing some differences. They're not going to play out perfectly every time, guys. The same way that the cycles don't play out perfectly in the sense that they have sort of unique features. However, the overall trend is followed. And if we take it to a log scale, guys, you can really see it significantly. You can see it a lot more clearer. And you can actually see that, around about March, we had a kind of sell-off. And it looks like we might be selling off in this March. However, this cannot happen. I'm not saying that we are going to sell off. It's just that if it did happen, to me, it would just be even more bullish. It'd be more of a chance for me to accumulate altcoins. Why are we focusing on Bitcoin and not the rest of the crypto market? Because everything follows Bitcoin. That's still true today. And in my opinion, is going to still ring true for a number of years. These altcoins aren't necessarily planets of their own. Everything is still orbiting Bitcoin. And I think that that's going to continue at least until, the market matures. And I think one thing that I want everybody to get out of this video is you need to understand where blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies are going. They are the new thing. They are the future. They are going to be integrated into society the same way that the internet is. Everything is going to run on blockchain technology in terms of, finance, in terms of supply chains, in terms of, governments. They're all going to have an element of sort of blockchain in them, whether that's a centralized blockchain data system or a decentralized blockchain data system. I don't think necessarily when Satoshi created Bitcoin, he really realized what he was doing. He was actually altering the very fabrics of, the world and how it works. And I know that sounds very romantic. I have a way of romanticizing sort of certainly Bitcoin and the overall crypto space, but I can't actually emphasize enough how big and significant this technology is. And you are yet to see people like Wall Street get in and sort of monetize this. When that happens, guys, they will then monetize it. Once they've enabled themselves to make money from this and capitalize from it in the sense of providing services related to it, you will really then see things sort of ramp up. You're already seeing institutions adopt it, and it's my opinion that you still have a number of other institutions to come in. And when we talk about, becoming anywhere from $8 to $11 trillion market, how do we get there? Well, a lot of institutions have to jump in, and also you have to sort of be widely accepted by Wall Street and things like that. And what we are seeing is, a significant number of people now who were definitely against Bitcoin, or at least coming out publicly and saying they were against Bitcoin, often the case buying it whilst telling you that. They are now, publicly coming out and saying, look, this is the new thing. You had Morgan Stanley come out and say this is the new investable asset. It's just crazy, guys. Crazy to think, and it's crazy to think that people are still bearish. You know, short term, I can understand people perhaps being bearish, but when you look at the sort of bigger picture of everything, guys, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. And that's what, you know, again, why this channel's here, because I don't want people, I don't want the people that already have the money to just continue to make it. I want some of you guys out there to perhaps catch a break and profit in the same way that these people that have more money than they really need do from these kind of things. I mean, you know, they did the same thing with the internet. They did the same thing with the housing bubbles. They did, you know, the same actors are always at play. And the thing is, you know, there are people out there who definitely understand where this is going and are going to capitalize on it as a result. And that, unfortunately, usually isn't people, your normal sort of working class people. Usually that's the kind of big institutions that have a hand in taking this kind of thing to where it is going to go. So that might be very complicated. I didn't want this to be a complicated video. I just wanted to kind of address, you know, the 70 to sort of 85% pullback rumors that people are kind of suggesting. It's absolutely my opinion that you're not going to see a 2013-esque bull run. Because, you know, for us to think of how many institutions are here right now that are going to have to kind of hodl through that. You know, they're going to have a lot of very unhappy board members if that happens. It could happen. It's possible, but in my opinion, unlikely. I think you have too many strong hands to sort of move that market in that way. You could have a severe pullback over 50% as a bit of a shakeout, but you know, ultimately Bitcoin's going to reach $100,000 in my opinion, and the altcoins are just going to continue to go. You know, they're still in their infancy, and they really are. I mean, when you look at Ethereum, it's absolutely my opinion that it's very, very undervalued. And I am going to perhaps say the M word, the manipulation word, that I think, you know, this market is quite heavily manipulated and suppressed in a lot of ways. But that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. I better get back to work. I just thought I'd jump on here and, you know, perhaps talk about possibilities and how this sort of bull market plays out. And I think you're going to just see a 2017-esque bull market instead of a 2013-esque bull market. And the reason being is because you have more money in here and more strong hands. So I'm going to love and leave you guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please drop me a like if you've enjoyed the content, and a comment is always appreciated. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that we're going to play out in the same way as 2017 or 2013, or do you think that the 4-year cycle theory is just not going to get followed and kind of thrown out the window? These are all possibilities. However, we are yet to see what's going to happen, and all we can do is take our best kind of guess based on a number of factors. So I'm going to love and leave you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hopefully will see you all on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.